What's up? Good evening. You're listening to another episode of Taking the Over. I'm your host, Billy Gunn, joined as always by the T Man Among Boys on this, the official sports wagering podcast of Boot Crew Media. And T, I couldn't be more excited tonight because number one, it's a holiday, a very important holiday. Some people's favorite day of the year. Some people get jerseys made for it for this holiday. But before we talk about 420, there's something even more important and more momentous and bigger than 420, and that is DraftKings. The NBA playoffs mean next level basketball. Get in on the first round action with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Let me put my glasses on so I can read this better. This week, new customers can bet $5 on any team to win and get $150 in free bets instantly. You win no matter what. All DraftKings Sportsbook customers can also bet during this first round with same-game parlays. Combine multiple bets from the same game for a bigger payout. We know what that's all about, T. We want a little money with that this week, right? My humble friend here hit a damn near plus 1,300 parlay. He knows about multiple legs. Plus, place the same game parlay each day with 3 or more legs and get up to $25 in free bets back if one leg doesn't hit. I did last night. DraftKings had a promotion where I bet a same game parlay and won, and I was fully prepared to get my bet reimbursed, but I didn't have to because I bet on the Pelicans and the Pelicans won. Here's the part that's most important. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code BOOT. Bet $5 on any NBA team to win their game during the first round of playoffs and get $150 in free bets instantly. That's promo code BOOT at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. I know a guy that's on a heater right now, and you can find him on Twitter at the T-Man Among Boys. What's up, dude?
What's up, Mr. Gunn? Generous words. I'll call it. I'm simmering right now, approaching boiling, but it's definitely getting hot. Feel pretty good. A few USFL stinkers, but I think other than that, I've been seeing the NBA playoffs pretty well, and let's ride that in.
Let's be fair to ourselves about the USFL. Okay, that's like playing barnyard bingo. I mean, that's like up there in Connecticut. Did y'all ever have parties where you painted like bingo squares on the ground and you fenced in an area and you took livestock and you put livestock inside of that fenced in area and you sold squares? And if the animal took a shit in your square, you won. Did y'all ever do that in
I've
Connecticut?
never heard that combination of words used in a sentence before. That was out there.
You didn't know that's a thing?
No, but we should probably package that into some sort of like backyard
Fundraiser?
game that
Can
you
you
could
still do
sell.
that? Can you still do that? Because we used to use stolen livestock.
What's the name of the game? What's like the official title?
I think it's barnyard bingo
We
or
need to make
backyard
that
bingo
like a
or
Hasbro
like
game.
pig shit bingo. Like it depends. It depends on what kind of animals you're going to use. Okay, so in case anybody missed it the first time, you basically draw like a bingo square on a nice piece of land, not too like a petting zoo, small petting zoo, like a small corner of a dog park, right? And you paint your squares like you would, and you sell squares, or the squares are numbered, and you bet on squares, and you put some well-fed livestock in there, and then the livestock, wherever if they defecate in your square, you win.
Barnyard bingo.
Yeah.
Sounds fun. I can do my best to wrangle up some livestock in the suburbs of Connecticut, but we could probably make it work. Maybe like cat and dog shit bingo as an alternative.
No,
Like that's the
dude,
travel game.
that's just annoying. That would be silly.
Bird
Well, first
shit
off, with
windshield.
cats, you'd have to have like just a huge litter box or like a big sand pit. Maybe I don't know. I'm not real big on cats going number two outside. And dogs, that's just because this game takes a while. Like you have a party, there's drinking, like it's a party, it's an event. You know, the barnyard bingo doesn't occur just like on its own. Like there's a celebration the entire time too.
So there's no like coaching or pushing the animals into.
Oh, I don't want to get into that. That there's a possibility for that, I'm sure.
In
Somebody's look. There's always rule breakers out there. There's always people that want to push the envelope.
There is in Florida on Captiva Island. They used to have these events at night. It would be horseshoe crab racing. You heard of
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
You paint numbers on each horseshoe on the crab's like shell, put them
Uh-huh.
under a basket, and you lift it up, and you're like the first number to reach the edge of the table, you win. It
You
seems
bet
like
on
a
it.
pretty you
You
bet
bet
on
on it.
it,
Oh,
but you can't
isn't that
like
great?
blow or throw water or drinks on the table. Have to be like hands back, no malintent or cheating or anything.
You know me, dude. Like I love betting on animals and children.
Yeah, this is up your wheelhouse. They may have
Yeah.
I didn't see it this year, so maybe they got rid of it. No sports betting in Florida still. Maybe it falls under that
Oh yeah,
branch.
no. Well, it's funny because of course, you were away last week because you were on vacation in Florida. And it's like you were gambling silent because you had no access to gambling. It was it
Yeah.
was it was it was fun.
I have no
Um,
personality outside of betting on sports, so I just completely shut off all social media for a week.
well, but now gambling's back, and like you said, USFL. We'll talk about that later. The NBA, specifically our beloved New Orleans Pelicans. Uh, boy, they sure helped me out. They helped me out a little bit yesterday, and I think they helped you out a lot, right?
Yeah, so I've been doing this play whenever it lines up where at first it was just the Rangers, New York Rangers, and the Pelicans parlayed in the money line because I thought of it. The Rangers always get, especially in hockey, you get pretty juiced like lines on there. So Rangers favorites were minus 150, minus 175. So I wanted to spice it up, get towards the plus numbers. So I started combining the Pels and Rangers. Then I added the Mets in there, and that hit as well. And then I did it again last night with the Pels as plus 400 underdogs to win a plus
Yeah,
1,238 parlay.
yeah, and it hit. And you took the second game of the Mets doubleheader.
That was important. It
That
had
was interesting. That really threw me off when I was examining the bet, and then
Max
that was just
Scherzer
great.
was pitching the second one. He had a no hitter through six and change. So I knew I'd rather play with him than Tyler McGill started the early first game.
Yeah, look, I just hit like a little plus 230 parlay. You know what I mean?
Chump change compared
Yeah,
to that.
yeah, right. I would consider, and well, I'll be fair. You inspired me to take the Pelicans money line, and so I did,
Well,
and
it
that
worked
was,
out.
yeah,
I had a feel. I just felt confident last night before that game, and I think a big piece
I did
too was
too.
that
I did
stat
too. And
about the ref.
all right, so I mean, look, obviously we're fans, and so we're biased. The Pelicans have a better than fair shot of winning the series. All right, have you seen the
Especially.
odds?
Uh, no, I know at the start, like a lot of people were taking the Suns in a sweep as a prop.
Well, as of like right now on DraftKings, the series money line Phoenix minus 260, New Orleans Pelicans plus 210.
I think it's worth a shot. Not even from a
Oh
place of
yeah,
bias or fandom, like value wise, especially with no Devin Booker for who knows how long.
at least 2 games. And guys don't come, and it's just been my experience, maybe as a fan of the Saints and Pelicans medical staffs. Guys don't come back before they're supposed to come back. They tend to come back like a little bit after.
Yeah, the NBA is definitely more cautious compared to like the NFL with that, where guys aren't really rushing to get back early. I mean, there's more games, but either way, if he misses two, that should in see ideally we win the next two home games, right?
Right. Well, no, let's just I think we win the next 2 home games. I mean, it was crazy watching that game last night going, if they and I was thinking this in the first half, I was like, if they lose, this is one of those games that if they were to lose this game, it would like the true Mets test of them would be how they come back in the next game. And then it's like, oh no, they went out and won by 11. And then they get the news that Booker's out. at least for the next 2 home games. So yeah, win-win. I think the Pelicans are going to win the series. I think they've got a more than legitimate shot of it, right?
Yeah,
And then you start to ask the Zion question again, legitimately out in the open. You almost get the feeling that, like, I mean, Zion's camp, they have been pretty definitive in he wants to play, and we'd like for him to play. So I think the Pelicans win the series, which is crazy. This is just an examination of odds right now, because the Pelicans, to win this series, if they're going to beat the number 1 seed at right now, that's the only value on that is plus 210, which to me, that's, if they're beating the number 1 seed, and now let's say Zion comes back, why can't they win the West? Because Phoenix is the best team in the West. Why take the plus 210 to win the series when to win the conference they're plus 5,500?
You think they're going to win the West?
I think if they beat Phoenix, they may as well win the West.
There's 2 teams I don't think they match up with well, and that's Phoenix when they're healthy and Golden State. I get nervous about them. So I think anyone else they could.
Yeah, but what if Zion comes back?
They would, even if they made it to the NBA Finals somehow, some way, Zion would not play this year no matter what.
I disagree with you. I have to believe.
Why would you not pull him? Next game is like the perfect opportunity, a 1-1 home playoff game in which the other team's star is out, and now you have a chance to like have the full shine on you and blow the roof off the place, off the league. This is the ideal opportunity.
Oh, this is, I mean, this season, I tweeted this out during the game the other night. This is a memorable season. No matter what happens from here on out, this season is, I mean, like, I look back as a Saints fan, and now I'm an old dude, right? So I've been a Saints fan for over 20 years. It's those memorable seasons, the ones that stick out. This is happening right now with the Pelicans, and people that have been Pelicans fans for a long time or will be Pelicans fans for a long time, they're going to remember back to this season no matter what.
Yeah.
And I believe it's going to get more special, man. Like, I think we're going to take this series, and if we take this series, why can't we take it all? I would rather take one of these long shot bets. I haven't even gotten to the Pelicans to win it all yet. Because, well, the East is pretty stout, but just so you know, the Pelicans are a measly plus 16,000 to win.
Put $5 on it. Put $100 on it and retire.
Put $100 on it.
I
think you feel better putting 100 on 5,500 at the conference too.
I think we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Or just take them to win this series, and you cover those next 2. But those odds are going to go down.
Yeah, I'll take the chance of the lower odds still being plus odds and seeing how this next game goes. Pelicans, historically speaking, this is a perfect letdown spot for the Pelicans. But I think this team is completely different. I don't think they're going to come out flat. But they won 1 playoff game. I'm not ready to crown them just yet. I want to win this series, and I will take them much more as a contender like you do.
Okay, I'll take him at plus 210 to win the series.
All right, talk them off the ledge.
All right, then I'll take those winnings and I'll put it in the.
Yeah, reinvest.
Yeah, reinvest. That's because I have this bounty of riches to invest because of the Pelicans. They're the reason.
They're the reason.
You celebrating 420 over there?
I don't like to kiss and tell, but
I got you. Say no more. Fair enough. I appreciate that.
But I'm feeling very relaxed.
Good deal. Good for you. You ever? I mean, is this your first time like that on the show, or are you often relaxed?
Often, I'm hoping that no one knows if I am or I'm not.
There you go. I could, for the record, I couldn't tell.
Perfect.
That's good though. Yeah, you're low key. I like that. It's weird, man. Like I feel like I'm out as a cannabis user. You know what I mean? Like I I'm cool with the world knowing. I don't know. Like 420, it's funny. You know the story. Do you know the story of 420? You know, like the legend of 420.
I've heard so many different like iterations of it, but I don't know if
Mhm.
there's a if the 420 historians have agreed to one theory or not. But
Very good take. In fact, you are 100% correct. And it's almost like 420 has become one of those things where it can be many things to many different people, right? And the story of 420 that I subscribe to is, I've heard the kids after school would meet up, da 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 da. And so, yeah, 420 becomes like universally the time in the afternoon when the people would begin to get stoned, right? But to me, like, I take that and like, I think of it like I have a 420, you have a 420, people are in different time zones, you know, circular globe theory as opposed to the flat earth. Um, your 420 is what you make of it. Like your 420, like my 420 is usually about 9 p.m. Central Time. Uh, Unless I'm doing taking the over, in which case I'm, 70, 70 milligrams deep
there you
every week,
go.
forever, for the people, for all the people out there, all the
It's a
overtakers.
late night. Well,
No,
I go
dude.
to bed early, so
Well, oh, you mean, yeah, for my 420 being like 9? It's 9ish. It is. It's been earlier, but I I've really, helps me sleep. But I mean, it's helpful to me in so many ways. I'm very appreciative of the plant and just looking at how far it's come, like in my lifetime. I mean, I made the joke when I got my medical cannabis prescription. It was like from a criminal to a patient. Never thought I'd see that, you know. And so you feel like not that I give a shit what anybody thinks, but it's nice that like because I jumped through their stupid hoops, you know, I don't have to worry about legality as much. And I didn't think you'd start to see marijuana laws change during my lifetime. And now I'm in a place where if it's not federally legal in the next 6 years, like I I'd bet on that.
yeah, more tax money to cash in on too. I don't see the negative in it. It's like sports gambling,
Yeah, it is like
beneficial for
sports gambling.
all.
Have you been to Vegas recently?
Never.
Never? Okay, so since I mean, like, look, dude, marijuana and sports gambling go together like rice and gravy, right? I mean, th- if you've been to Vegas lately and you kind of like just near any, because it's like dudes getting stoned before they go in and place their bets.
Get your moment of clarity before you see the board. I feel
It's like
enlightened on
two
life.
things. Yeah, it's like two things that stand out though. It's like, whoa, this is what people are into. And that's kind of what the show's about. I mean, it shows an appreciation of 420 and it shows about gambling. Like I said, to me, the story of 420, the meaning of 420 is what's your 420. And it could change from day to day, but it's like you got your you got your shit done for the day, you got your shit accomplished for the day, and now it's time to turn off. You know what I mean? That's to me, that's what the 420 is.
I think you summed it up. It's more of a to me. It's more of an ethereal or spiritual. It can be used to your perspective or individual. So I like your take on it.
Do you ever get like I like to get ridiculously high. Like I like to get like experiencing ego death on a Tuesday night.
Jesus, that would I felt like you said that. I like that there's no like real hangover from it.
Oh yeah.
Like you can weekdays you can do it and to whatever extent you want, and you don't have to really worry about the consequences in the morning.
No, that's correct. And that's to me, that's the drawback of drinking. It's just the way like drinking just makes me feel like shit.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
feel like I may have developed an allergy to it or something. I just and I don't miss it, you know.
I reserve it for special occasions, weddings, getting
Right,
together with
right. I feel like I've
friends.
evolved into a vacation drinker.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So like last week I drank the most I've probably drank in like months because you're on vacation. It's a whole different mindset. But
Well, you know what keeps me straight as a vacation drinker is like, let's say, my buddies and I that I get together with every year. This year, we're getting a cabin in Toledo Bend for Labor Day weekend, and like everybody, a lot of people probably start drinking at like noon.
mhm.
So like when I am a vacation drinker, instead of like drinking at noon, I'll drink at like 7.
So that's a very like you have to have willpower to do that on vacation. I'm getting the
Not
mindset
if you're
of
stoned. Yeah.
there you
If you're
go.
just spending your if you're just, and it's like because then getting vacation drunk, that becomes your 420. You're like, what's my 420 on getting vacation drunk? I'm gonna start at 7 when everybody else starts at noon because
There
I
you
want to do
go.
this all over again tomorrow and not feel like shit.
Got it down to a science. I don't have I
That
drinking is all a mindset to me. I want to drink when I'm like in a drinking party mode, I guess.
right.
So if it'd be tough for me to skip that for like 6 hours while everyone else is having fun.
Did I tell you I kicked stand up back up again?
You didn't.
Mm-mm. I'm actually going to a show tonight. About a little after we get done here. It's gonna be fun. It's crazy. Dude, I stopped doing stand up 7 years ago. Right? I feel like I took a break for 7 years, and what's weird is like I feel like I went and I got like smarter and wiser and less handsome, you know? And I think those are all ingredients of better comedy success and growth. And it's like it's wild. You go out, like you start going to shows again, and you see like, oh man, like some really, really talented fucking people out there. And it's cool seeing people that I knew like 10 years ago that are successful, not necessarily famous. It's cool seeing people that I knew like 15 years ago that are like successful and famous. But even like when you like if you go to like the local Wednesday night comedy show in your city right now, and you're gonna see like the local guys, there's some extremely talented people there. Because they're bound by geography. And that's what I was when I was doing, comedy back then is I could never leave like the Baton Rouge and New Orleans area. So what's the point? You end up being like regionally tied. So if you go to like any good like Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, whatever, support your local comedy scene no matter what city that you're in and you're listening to, because there's going to be like ridiculously talented guys that are kind of bound by region. Like they're not going to have a chance to get away from there. So you'll see some like real gems and really, really awesome people. And that's what I'm gonna do tonight after the show.
Well, I wish
And I
you the
might
best
sneak
of
in a
luck.
set, and I'm not going to tell anybody where I'm going because when you're first, like, dude, when you're first when you're first starting out, you make the mistake of telling friends to come to like your first couple open mics when you suck, and then everybody's got to be like polite to you. Oh, you were great.
Yeah,
But
there's
you
more
just don't
pressure.
do that. You don't do that, and you wait. And you start inviting your friends or the people that come see you that never saw the suck, that just see the good. They're blown away. They all think you're like the funniest motherfucker they ever met in your life, but you're just like a marginally decent open micer.
Do you have your like routine all planned out and ready to go?
No, I probably only have like 5 new minutes right now.
Could you give us a preview?
No,
Oh,
it's not how it works.
that's how I want it to work. I want to see it. I can't. You won't tell me where it is. I want to at least see it
I
here.
will tell you. I know I won't. I mean, I won't. I'll tell the listeners when the time is ready. You know what I mean?
There
Like
you go.
where, and it's soon. Like I'll be getting up on stage soon at places where people can come see. But it's exciting, man.
It is.
It's like I don't know. You just start to limit yourself on what you think you can do. Like I used to say, how could I do that? Like I don't know how I managed doing that and having a job and a family and all that. But I was able to make it work then, and I'm even in a better position to make it work now. And it's something that is important to me, and it's something I'm good at. So do gambling and stand up comedy.
Do a gambling centric set. Basically, do this show live, and people will probably like
Oh,
it
like
more.
Artie Lang. No, like I see. There's few people don't respond well to like I don't know, like gambling comedy. Like you think about people that who's that guy that was married to Roseanne? Tom Arnold. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I've seen like Tom Arnold or like, and I know I've seen Artie Lang tell a couple gamblers. Norm Macdonald was a notorious gambler. I think the funniest man on television right now, the most talented broadcaster in all of media anywhere is Charles Barkley. And he gambles like, you know, anybody. Like, he's pretty notorious for it. So there's a lot of funny people that gamble, but there's not a lot of people that talk about gambling in a funny way in a stand-up venue. I mean, let's be honest about what the gambling uh, media world is dominated by aesthetic. Like, there's like super aesthetically pleasing and like super nerdy, wonked out system guys that are hard to listen to.
Yeah, there isn't much in between.
There's not. There's not.
It's yeah, it's. I feel like that's just a pretty good representation of society and media as a whole, anyway. Where
Right.
I don't want to I don't
Oh
want to
no,
cross any Me Too movements here or travel into nasty territory, but it's always been that way. It always will be that way. Smoke them if you got them. Use it or lose it.
yeah, exactly. I have a bit. I actually do have a bit. I mean, that's the thing is if you've been away from something like that for 7 years, I haven't touched any significant premises in 7 years. It's gonna be fun. You want to talk about the USFL?
God, let's get into it. Just to before we even get into it, they have helmet cams.
Every player.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just saw the footage on Twitter and I was like, this is awesome.
Did you not watch? How much of the games did you watch?
So I was like flipping between them and then some basketball and then whatever else is on. But I didn't know they had them until just now, and I wish there was a streaming option where you could watch just helmet cams.
That would be cool. And given I mean, there's two titans of broadcasting that own the broadcast rights. You'd think they'd do that multi-platform,
Mm-hmm.
like free watch along shit.
Yeah,
That's
they do it for the
stupid. I mean,
NBA.
well, I mean, and to be fair, they've done a great job on the production. In fact,
Yeah,
one of the shining uh, good things that the USFL is doing is the shine and the polish on the production. The only thing that really fools with me with that is like the whirring of the drone blades, like it sounds like bees, but the cameras are so sensitive they're picking up all the little drones flying around.
it's. I mean, it doesn't help that there's like, other than the first game, there was like 4 people combined across the other 3 games.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing that's kind of sad is I watched the Friday night game or the Saturday night game, and then I feel like I watched two of the Sunday games, and the late game you informed me got moved to Monday, and I don't think I watched it, but apparently those teams really like one of them's really good Is that when Tampa Bay played Monday night?
Yeah, I think it was Tampa Bay versus the Pittsburgh Maulers, who just kicked some kid off their team too. So they're having a great week.
Well, that was apparently the bloodbath of the week because the reshuffling of the deck on the odds to win it all is now the Bandits are now the leaders at plus 330, and the Maulers are plus 1,000.
Yeah, Maulers suck. As a
Maulers fairly suck.
As a lifelong USFL fan, the Maulers
Oof.
suck.
Those Maulers. I'll tell you who. We must address the elephant in the room with the totals. I mean, of course, I took I think all overs, and I missed on 3 of them, 3 of the 4. The only game where the over hit was the first game, and that one actually had the lowest total of the weekend. I think it was 39.5, unless the Monday game was lower than that, but I don't believe it was. There is a game this week that's as low as like 36.5. If it's still that low, and that's the only over I'll be taking, because apparently, like I gave way too much credit to the kickoff rule where we're getting more kickoff returns, and to be fair, field position was pretty gratuitous, like post kickoff, but I don't know. I mean, like the totals were all in the low 40s. Most of them grew to settle right around 42. Like I said, the one anomaly was the one that hit, and that was the Friday night or the Saturday night game. I don't know, man. Like I feel like we should break the rule, right? Break the glass and break our rule, and maybe go unders this week, except for that one game, and take the over there. The one that's at 36.5, we take the over.
I'm probably gonna stay away from totals on it in general, just because for a few reasons.
You're just gonna bet spreads.
So I'm going pure eye test. I think because the gambling trends or anything like that mean nothing. Vegas, I don't think Vegas knows just as much as we do.
I want to hear it. I want to hear you justify your greatness.
Well, there's been one game they clearly didn't know how to cap that week. They're probably not going to learn too much this week. That doesn't help me as someone who looks at what Vegas does and what the lines do. So I'm probably going to see where the most bets are going on a spread and go the opposite, or I'll just pick the better team and pray that they cover whatever number they get. Because the benefit is for that, each line has been, I think, sub 4. I think they've been like 3.5, 2. I didn't see anything higher than that. So you're basically getting to a point where one possession game, take the better team.
Well, and I thought that also, because you have you can go for 1, 2, or 3. And you saw a lot of going for 2.
Mm-hmm.
Some is a lot of it not successful. Some of it was. I'll tell you what you saw a lot of was kicks flying way left and right of goalposts. A lot of missed kicks to where I think some teams just, said, to hell with the kicker. We're going for 2 from here on out.
I'm kind of disappointed they even carry a kicker on the roster in the USFL.
Agreed. I think they should go for 3. I think you should start going for 3.
Yeah, I mean,
what's missing? Because you're missing ones.
You should get a point.
You're taking one point shots, and so I'm a little scared of these spreads because there's a lot of smart coaches. Let me say something else nice about the USFL. There's a lot of shiny name coaches in there. There's a lot of coaches with cachet to their names and their resumes.
Yeah, I thought it was choose a good analogy here. If I was an alien that came back, but I had seen football before, I just didn't know which league was which.
Yeah.
We're going a weird rabbit hole here. I'm trying to say I really couldn't tell the difference in quality of football too much. Not like the other leagues where it was a clear drop off, just crappy football. I thought it was a pretty competitive product, and the coaching names, as stupid as that sounds, does make it feel more buttoned up. Like Kevin Sumlin. And
I think they're actually a lot of good coaches. That stands out to me. Like you said, the games were watchable. There wasn't weird deficiencies of talent. They were fun. um, our defensive end got 3 sacks. Like, that's awesome.
Well, we have the most defensive ends in the league, apparently.
That's right.
So.
Turns out, I was sitting there the whole time going, I'm so simple-minded, and head coach Larry Fedora is a football genius because he was like, okay, I'm an offensive guy. I'm gonna figure out offense. I'm gonna draft a badass defense, and I'm gonna focus on defense, and I'll figure out a way with my wily Larry Fedora mindset of putting some offense up. I'm gonna get a badass defense, and it's weird. So like I had this, I think it was one of those confirmations of things that I already knew, but like the New Orleans Breakers or the Tampa Bay Bandits or the Michigan the city name is as much of a mascot as the mascot is. Like New Orleans is basically like a mascot for as much as the Breakers are. Tampa Bay is as much of a mascot as the Bandits are.
I have so many thoughts on the the logo or the team name combinations, the mascots. So I saw the Breakers have an actual physical mascot. Where it kind of has like the fade haircut. It looks like a wave, I guess.
Nightmare fuel. All these mascots.
Not as bad as the first Pelican.
I got suckered in. I got suckered in by Jeff Fisher. I think a lot of people did. So, Michigan Panthers.
Yep, they're right there with the Maulers. Lifelong suck.
Now the Maulers. I missed the Maulers game, but apparently they really shit the bed. Because they're the longest odds.
They have obnoxious jerseys too. I like the simple jerseys, not the ones that I like the 80s modernized look, not the ones that are just flashy, look like you created them in Madden. So I hate the Maulers.
I thought the football looked good. I think the coach's name, it's watchable. It's more watchable than a preseason game.
That's a perfect description of it. I think it's right below NFL, but above. I was more invested in these than I would be a preseason game.
Who are you taking this week? Have you even figured it out?
I haven't even looked, but I'm going to go Breakers just in pure.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what.
They're strong.
And I'll fade.
Strong defense.
Are they playing the Maulers?
I hope so.
Because if they're not, I'll just bet on whoever the Maulers are playing.
Yeah, if the Breakers played the Maulers, that'd make it real easy, wouldn't it? I might do what I did last night with the Pelicans and do money line and spread.
There you go. The anti-Maulers Breakers parlay.
I wanted to talk a couple more NFL draft bets before we get out of here. A couple weeks ago, when we were doing our draft show, I was real fond of a total number of wide receivers drafted in the first round. Right? And it's like the number was 5.5, meaning the question was, will more or less than 6 receivers get drafted in the first round? And I recommended playing that bet. Well, I was checking out the draft lines tonight, and it's funny because I've been questioning that bet. I said take under 5.5 receivers drafted in the first round.
Was that the favorite?
No, that's the underdog. I know, it was only like plus 110, something like that. Maybe it was plus 100. But I'm looking at that same bet now, and I was justifying doing that because I'm like, the NFL draft is such a crapshoot. I will say, like, we haven't had a lot of guys like you don't hear like stories of guys doing bad stuff or rumors or undisclosed injuries or whatever. We haven't seen a lot of that. Like, like character issues, whatever. Like, you haven't been seeing guys have been pretty good at the draft with like not doing stupid shit right before they get drafted or well in advance for the last couple of years. But thinking about this bet, and I was justifying taking under 5.5 wide receivers in the first round by like, it only takes like one guy to get hurt between now and then. One guy to have a shitty 40 time. Oh, he ran a 4 what? A 4.8? He ran a 4.7? It only takes one guy to have a character issue, and that under comes in. So you can imagine my delight when I go look this afternoon. It's no longer a question of are 6 more or less getting drafted. Now it's the line is 6.5. The number is 7. Are 7 wide receivers getting drafted in the first round? I took the under 6.5. I grabbed it right then and there on DraftKings Sportsbook. It's juiced to minus 120.
All right.
What do you think? You think it's gonna be 7 wide? Because I've done the math. I've been scouting wide receivers, dude, and there's a lot of compelling reasons to take wide receivers in the draft as opposed to free agency now for a lot of teams. I think a lot of teams are realizing that. Vegas and the devil and the people that make the lines they all feel the same way. That number is now 6.5. Now it feels like it was a joke bet 2 weeks ago. It's a real bet now.
Okay. Yeah, I would take, I think I said it in the previous show too. I'd take whatever one is the underdog.
That's 7 wide receivers in the first round.
Yeah, why not? It'll be fun to root for when you're sweating out the last pick and they're at 6.
I don't know. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun bet. That's the whole point. But now you're looking for 7.
Give me 32 receivers plus 15,000.
I mean, now you're going to watch the whole first round. If you take this bet, we don't usually condone taking unders. You watch the whole first round, hoping that 6 or less wide receivers get drafted, and that feels like a real fun way to watch the draft.
I mean, it's the only way to watch it. I think I don't love the draft. I'm not into drafts. I'm not into the mock drafts.
I hate all that. But I love the draft. Love it. What about Kenny Pickett? See, I still got Kenny Pickett as first quarterback.
It's going to be the other kid, Malik from Liberty.
I
feel like, I don't know why. Just feel like he would go.
Oh, as I said 2 weeks ago, I think there's a relationship between Rule and Pickett, and I think they're the team that takes him. I think somebody could trade ahead of the Panthers, or the Panthers could kind of leverage and trade that pick to a team that really wants Malik, but I don't. I think that I feel like good odds. It was like plus 230, plus 330 when I got it. And it felt fair for the guy that I honestly think is going to be the first quarterback drafted by Carolina.
As long as the Saints don't draft one, I'm fine. But I won't get into that rabbit hole either.
No, I'd rather the Saints don't draft a quarterback. I wish we could have your friend, the Jameis guy, on sometime. Did you call the Jameis guy?
I'll call the Jameis guy. I'll have my people reach out to him.
I thought you had. Yeah, I thought y'all were like. I thought y'all had spoken.
Not in a while. We don't talk every day.
Oh yeah.
I throw him a tweet or a mention here and there, but unfortunately for him, he's a very niche Twitter profile, so not much falls into his bucket.
Well, he and I feel the same way that the Saints don't need, and you too, that the Saints don't need to draft a quarterback in the first round. I mean, there's nobody in the draft right now that's as good as a 27-year-old Jameis Winston.
No.
28-year-old Jameis Winston.
No one in the league that's as good as 28-year-old Jameis Winston. Biased.
Like it all said, all these bets we've talked about tonight, you can find them, of course, on DraftKings. And guys, don't forget to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code BOOT. Bet $5 on any NBA team to win their game and during the first round of playoffs and get $150 in free bets instantly. That's promo code BOOT at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-426-2537 in Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Wyoming, 1-800-NEXT-STEP in Arizona, 1-800-522-4700 in Colorado or New Hampshire, 888-789-777. Visit ccpg.org.chat in Connecticut. I feel bad for you, T, if you have to do the gambling hotline. You got to do it online. 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa, 1-877-770-STOP-7867. That's in Louisiana. 867-8-HOPE-NY. 467-369 New York. Visit opgr.org in Oregon, or call or text Tennessee Redline at 1-800-889-9789 or 1-888-532-3500 if you're in Virginia. 21 plus, 18 plus in Wyoming. Physically present in Arizona, Colorado, Connecticut, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming only. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Man, what you think, dude? What you think? Is that a good DraftKings read or what?
That was pretty phenomenal.
I think I've, I don't want to toot my own horn, but that's hard. It's not easy. Is there anything we didn't get to tonight that you want to make sure that we get to?
No, just stay on the lookout for picks. We're gonna hammer out the NBA playoffs and then get right into the USFL this weekend. So baseball is always going on. Hockey's kind of dying down because all the seeding is pretty much done, but playoffs start soon. So a lot of opportunity. The future is bright.
I love baseball first inning bets. That's my new jam.
Yeah,
You only have to watch one inning of baseball, which is fun. It's nice.
do flash bets each inning.
No.
Just watch the game as it goes.
You know me, I'm old fashioned.
Oh, yes.
Give me some missionary style over under first inning.
Got it.
Well, dude, if that's all you've got, that's all I've got. I got a comedy show to get to. I'm gonna go watch some friends perform, and we want to thank everybody. Thank you, Boot Crew Media. There's lots of awesome people that are joining Boot Crew Media every week. The brand is expanding. We're very excited that they let us have our little gambling show here. We're thankful to DraftKings. We're thankful to the listeners. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter at TManAmongBoys or at Taking the Over, on Instagram at Taking the Over, on TikTok. You gonna make some TikTok videos for the people, man?
Yeah, started a new job this week. We're working on finalizing our home purchase, so I got a lot going on.
Yeah,
but
I know
to get the content out
that's
for
true.
the beautiful people.
I'm with you, bro. I got a lot going on too, but it's fun. We thank y'all. We love y'all. T, say good night to all the beautiful people.
Good night to all the beautiful people.
And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.